Let's talk about the moral credential effect. This is one that hits home for me, and I found myself falling into it. Not necessarily in terms of moral reasoning, but I do this in terms of problem solving and logical thinking, solving problems in the workplace in my own life, and even when I'm trying to solve those literal and metaphorical treasures. So here's how the moral reasoning effect works. The bias appears when people feel that one good deed, one great effort earns you some kind of credit, and then you relax your guard and you ignore your inconsistencies moving down the road. So you're kind of resting upon your past successes or your past sort of morally right decisions or whatever else it might be, not realizing that it's a daily task. That just because you got it right the last time or even the last 10 times doesn't dismiss you from the potential of getting it wrong the next time. It's a sort of call to humility. So I have 5 thoughts that I've jotted down here, and there's a little bit of repetition with them as I look back on them, but let's walk through them together and see where this might take us. The first one is keep in mind that past virtue does not excuse present error. So, helping once doesn't make later choices right. So I helped a person in this difficult situation, and so now I got a pass and I don't have to worry about doing it the next time. Or just thinking that you're morally right the second time because you were the last time. Again, it's a daily task, so we have to keep that in mind. The second one is, self-image. We need to be careful about this because it can get in the way of real self-awareness. So maybe you've established the reputation of being a clear thinker, a great problem solver, a logical thinker, or a good moral reasoner. And so now you're in a new situation and you're seeing yourself as that kind of a person. And as a result, it kind of blinds you to when you're not actually consistent with that reputation. So your image is actually more important than being self-aware of what you're doing in that moment at that time. You follow me? This is a really important distinction for us, and we all fall into this, so it's a good thing for us to learn about. And this is a third one that I think is actually pretty similar to the first, but I jotted it down, so I'm going to stay with it. And it's that, your moral licensing can sometimes blind you from bias. So after you act really well, people often feel freer to bend the rules. They feel, so what's different about it is in the first example that I gave, it was like where I did something good the first time, so I feel justified and I feel assuming that I'm doing it well the next time. This third concept, though, of the moral licensing that masks your biases is different. It's where you feel justified in doing something a little less logical or less moral because you did it well the last time. Like you've built up some points or some kind of credit that you can use, and so you don't have to live up to the same standard before. And the problem is that can lead you into poorer decisions and less effective thinking and the like. And this is where I come back to the fourth point, and I've already talked about this, is if you want to have a really clear picture of what's necessary to move forward, it means humility. It means recognizing that just because you made the right decision last time, that you are still susceptible to the wrong decision this time. Whether it's a logical situation or a moral reasoning situation, to realize that we're flawed people and we don't always get it right. And even if you have a habit of doing the right thing, it doesn't mean that you're insulated from getting it wrong the next time. Having the humility to acknowledge and check yourself and seek some accountability and some help and another pair of eyes and a partner who can kind of test your ideas and your thinking. And I have found this happen actually as a leader a lot for myself. I need this. I've been honored to be a part of a lot of big projects, and some of them have turned out pretty successfully over the years. And when you get a number of those wins under your belt, you can build a kind of confidence to take on those problems in the future. And that's a good thing. It gives you the courage to take on wicked problems and to solve them and to go on noble quests that can advance things in your workplace, in your life, and whatever else it might be. But the danger is when you think you're somehow invincible because of your past successes. I was successful last time, I'll therefore be successful this time. But that is not true. You got to put in the work each and every time when you're trying to solve a problem, trying to discover that literal or metaphorical treasure, other things like that. So good thing to keep in mind. And then the last one is recognize that this kind of integrity of following your principles, your logical thinking, your clear thinking principles, your moral reasoning principles, these kinds of things. It is a daily task. It's not something you just sort of store up and then, it just carries you into the future. Each and every moment and decision is a new opportunity. It's a new challenge. And you may make the right decision. You may make the wrong decision. It requires humility, vigilance, seeking wisdom from reliable sources that can guide your decision, seeking wise counsel. All of those things come into the picture. And if you use them, maybe, just maybe, as you're trying to solve those problems or discover those literal and metaphorical treasures, you can avoid the moral credential effect. I hope you find this useful. I look forward to your comments.